Be honest with yourself for a second. When was the last time you woke up actually excited to start your day? Not scrolling, not escaping, but actually living. If lately everything feels boring, heavy, or impossible to focus on, it's not because you're lazy. It's because your brain is drowning in tiny hits of dopamine that make real life feel numb. But the good news, you can reset it in just 24 hours. Let me show you something that might change the way you feel tomorrow morning. You know, something strange is happening to our generation, and not in a dramatic, sci-fi way, but in the quiet, everyday moments where we feel ourselves slipping. You wake up tired even after 8 hours of sleep. You want to work out, you mean to study, you swear you'll finally clean your room or apply for that internship, but your body doesn't move. You just end up scrolling, and before you know it, the sun's gone, your to-do list looks untouched, and you're left with that familiar sinking guilt, what's wrong with me? And honestly, nothing's wrong with you, but something is happening inside your brain, something that most people never learn about. And it doesn't care if you're smart, ambitious, or deeply motivated inside. It doesn't care if you want to be a better student, a better friend, or just a more focused human being. It quietly reshapes what your brain considers interesting and boring, and once it takes over, even the things you love start to feel like chores. This whole idea, often called a dopamine reset or dopamine detox, is not about cutting out fun or judging anyone for liking TikTok. It's about understanding why we feel stuck, drained, and numb in a world where entertainment is always one swipe away. And a lot of what I'll share today is inspired by the psychology behind dopamine, but expanded with my own observations, things I've seen in friends, in students, in coworkers, and honestly in myself. Because this isn't a problem faced by a small group of people. It's practically a cultural moment. It's something millions of General Z and young millennials are struggling with right now, especially in the USA generation, trying to stay focused in a world designed to steal focus away. So let's talk about what's happening inside your mind, why it feels so hard to do even small tasks, and how a simple 24-hour reset can make you feel like a different person when your motivation breaks without you realizing it. Expanded analysis. Most people think motivation disappears because we're lazy, unproductive, or not trying hard enough. But the truth is much more human and honestly, much more comforting. Your brain is overwhelmed. Not you. Imagine your brain like a music speaker. It can play a song beautifully at normal volume. But if you blast it at maximum volume for hours, the speaker starts buzzing. It gets distorted. Even soft songs no longer sound clear. Now replace music with dopamine, the chemical that tells your brain, hey, this feels good, do more of this, this is rewarding, chase it. The problem, we're blasting our brains with instant dopamine constantly. TikTok 5-second clips, Instagram Reels, Netflix, autoplay, Discord notifications, phone games, endless scrolling, even just unlocking your phone 100 times a day. Each tiny moment gives your brain a quick hit, a fast, easy spike of dopamine. But dopamine is meant to motivate us toward things that take effort, like finishing an assignment, exercising, learning a new skill, reading, cooking, playing an instrument. These activities give smaller dopamine spikes, but they last longer and feel deeper. When the brain gets too much instant dopamine, it becomes like that blown-out speaker. Suddenly, reading feels impossible, working out feels like a mountain, studying feels like torture, even simple chores feel exhausting, not because you lost discipline, but because your dopamine baseline dropped. You're basically trying to run a marathon with flat tires. This is why so many young adults in the US describe the exact same feelings. I don't feel motivated anymore. Everything feels boring. I want to change, but I just don't. It's not personal failure. It's modern neurochemistry. Why instant dopamine feels so good but messes you up long term. Let me give you a simple, very American analogy. Imagine you go to a buffet where everything is deep-fried wings, fries, onion rings, mac and cheese balls, the whole deal. It's delicious, right? But the more you eat, the less you want salad or fresh fruit when you get home. Not because salad is bad, but because your taste buds are overstimulated. Social media is the psychological equivalent of that buffet. It overloads your brain with bright colors, fast cuts, constant rewards, unpredictable surprises, quick laughs, 6-second entertainment loops. Your brain learns, why waste energy on slow, challenging tasks when I can get pleasure instantly? This is where Dr. Anna Lembis research comes in. She explains how excessive dopamine stimulation lowers your baseline, meaning normal things no longer excite you, simple things feel dull, your mind becomes harder to satisfy, life starts feeling gray and low energy. It's not depression in the clinical sense, but it's a kind of emotional numbness that many young people describe today. The idea behind a 24-hour dopamine reset, deeper perspective. A dopamine detox isn't about punishing yourself. It's not some monk-level discipline challenge. And it's definitely not about eliminating pleasure. It's about giving your mind the chance to breathe. Think about when your phone bugs out and freezes. What's the first thing you do? You restart it. You reset everything back to normal. Your brain needs that too, especially when it's overloaded. A 24-hour reset allows the mind to lower overstimulation, restore sensitivity, regain interest in slower, meaningful activities, feel motivation again. It's like washing a foggy window. Suddenly, you can see clearly. A lot of people who try this describe the next day as colors feeling brighter, the world feeling more real, tasks feeling lighter, creative ideas coming back, a sense of energy they haven't felt in years. That's because boredom, the thing we're always trying to escape, is actually the brain's reboot mode. Step 1. Relearning the power of boredom, expanded with real examples. In modern American culture, boredom is treated like a crisis. You're waiting in line? Pull out the phone. You're sitting in a car? Scroll. Your microwave is heating food for 30 seconds? Open TikTok. You're in bed? Scroll until your eyes burn. We don't let our mind sit still for even a moment. But boredom is actually the key that unlocks clarity. When you intentionally create boredom, no phone, no music, no digital noise, your brain goes through a withdrawal at first. You feel fidgety, restless, annoyed. It's the same discomfort people feel when trying to cut sugar. But then something incredible happens. Your mind begins looking for deeper stimulation. A book suddenly becomes interesting. You start cleaning your room without thinking. You go for a walk. You journal. You stretch. You notice your own thoughts again. Doesn't kill creativity. It releases it. Some of the greatest American innovations, from Steve Jobs walking barefoot in the office to Einstein daydreaming along rivers, came from moments when the mind wasn't overstimulated. Your brain needs boredom, the same way your lungs need a deep breath. Step 2. Build a protocol, so you don't fall back into old habits. Here's where most attempts fail. People say, okay, I won't use my phone today. But then boredom hits like a wave, and their hand reaches for the phone automatically, not out of desire, but habit. That's why you need a clear plan. Think of it like a road trip. You don't just get in the car and hope the GPS guesses where you're going. You choose the destination. You choose the route. You avoid what derails you. A reset protocol might look like this. Delete or hide social media apps for 24 hours. Set your lock screen to dopamine detox day. Keep your phone in a different room. Replace digital triggers with physical alternatives. Most importantly, create a list of healthy dopamine tasks, things that give slow, satisfying reward. Reading a chapter of a book, folding laundry, journaling your thoughts, exercising for 10-20 minutes, sketching or writing, cooking, something simple. Organizing your workspace. When boredom comes, don't battle the urge, redirect it. Your brain is begging for stimulation. You're simply giving it healthier forms. It's the same idea therapists use for addiction recovery. Don't fight the craving. Guide it somewhere safer. Step 3. Stop chasing perfection. Personal commentary. This is the part almost nobody talks about, and it's the real reason people quit. Change is messy. You will slip. You will check your phone without thinking. You will get distracted. You will have moments where you forget you're even doing a detox. That's normal. What matters is what you do after the slip. If your friend accidentally eats one cookie during a diet, you wouldn't scream, well, you failed. Time to eat 10 more? But we do this mentally all the time. I scrolled for 5 minutes. I ruined everything. I messed up? I'll start again next week. No. You restart the very next moment. Progress, perfection. The goal isn't a perfect 24 hours. The goal is to prove to your brain that you are the one in control, not the phone, not the apps, not the instant dopamine loops. This mindset shift alone is transformative. What happens after you complete a 24-hour reset? Emotional plus cultural expansion. What people often describe after finishing a reset is not some magical transformation, but a feeling of returning to themselves. Here's what many notice: you wake up the next day with real energy, your mind feels quieter, calmer, clearer, studying feels doable instead of draining, exercise feels refreshing instead of forced food tastes. Richer nature looks more vivid, your thoughts feel deeper, you notice details you've ignored for years. It's like the world turns back into HD. And something even more meaningful happens: your self-trust comes back. When you prove to yourself, even for 24 hours, that you can take control of your habits, you start believing you can take control of anything else too. Your health, your future, your discipline, your relationships, your goals, your sense of purpose. You get a glimpse of your real potential. The version of you that isn't weighed down by distraction. And once you taste that version of yourself, you want to keep going. Why this matters for General Z, specifically my personal take. General Z grew up in an environment no generation in human history has faced: dopamine on demand, infinite entertainment, constant comparison, endless stimulation. You're fighting a battle your brain was never designed to handle. And yet General Z is also the generation with the most creativity, the most awareness, and the most desire to break cycles. You feel deeply. You think deeply. You care about the world. You want a meaningful life, not just a convenient one. But to build that life, you need a brain that's capable of focus, effort, and fulfillment. A 24-hour dopamine reset won't solve everything, but it cracks the door open. It gives you a chance to meet the version of yourself that isn't numb or overwhelmed. And once you meet that version, you realize you've had potential all along. It was just buried under noise.